Okay, so earlier today, not much earlier, like 20 minutes. Actually, hold on. I made a statement about women that may came off as sexist. Okay, which I understand why. Colin, you know why. And I didn't mean it to be that way necessarily.
Yeah, tell us what happened
I
before you start
feel
apologizing.
for women necessarily, I feel that there is a huge inequality issue. I mean, men are treated a lot, let's say, better than women. I mean, we've never had a woman president. Basically, this country's sexist. And, hold on, and it might have came off, but I do feel like women are not equal to men, and I don't think they'll ever be. Saying that means I don't think that in my personal opinion, I don't think they'll ever be. I don't think that they shouldn't be necessarily. I mean, there's some things that men will always.
So what about women makes them less superior to men, in your opinion?
I don't think that they're less superior to men, but like.
That was your previous statement.
But give me 1 second, please. Women in general, typically, it's rare to see, but typically they have men's body. The body of a man is just typically stronger than a woman. Like the man's body mass, the man's structures, and yeah, everything like that. I don't think that women are not. Hold on. Could be. I don't think they can be physically as strong as men, but mentally, I do think that women are necessarily smarter. I'm just saying that.
So I don't see how physical strength has any bearing on societal repercussions. But I also don't agree with the fact that you believe that women are smarter. I think women have a lot more common sense than men a lot of the time. But that's because women are allowed to be smarter than men a lot of the time, like in societal roles.
I do agree with what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'm not agreeing with you.
So what are you doing?
Men, I'm not saying I did say that, but
Yes, but
women.
you did say that.
Hold on,
But
women.
you did say that.
Hold on, women. I said typically come off as smarter. Yes, they have way more common sense than a man does. A man
In some of the
A
cases.
man with a $60,000 job a year will go buy a $50,000 vehicle. A woman who has actual common sense won't buy a $50,000 vehicle.
No one will do that.
But I'm just giving an example.
That was a terrible example, sir. That was god awful.
You do realize that $60,000 is basically the limit of being poor right now?
I'll say $60,000 is like. Who am I kidding? The middle class doesn't exist anymore.
Mr. Haskins pays 69,000.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's right above being poor.
You know what's funny is that I bet Mr. Anson makes a lot more money than that because like all the shit he's got going. Like he makes a lot of fucking money.
this is a harder question.
You can totally come over and talk.
I think that, I mean, there is people out there, for an example, I did come off like I was being sexist towards women, but there is women out there who are sexist towards men. And yes, I have seen it firsthand. And I also think that it's not fair that a woman should say something about a man and a man should do nothing about it. Like, oh yeah, let's downgrade men in general because you dated one guy and it wasn't a good guy. So you're just going to base all men off of one person.
I'm not disagreeing with that in any way. I do believe that a lot of feminists are just kind of dicks. But, like, what you said earlier, because, like, as soon as we got you on camera, you immediately started apologizing for about a minute and a half. So I'm very confused on whether we have a mic on you. It's a very different person from when we don't. So it is very weird because before you were talking about how bullshit girl power is and how much you don't like that and how you think women are weak and all that shit. So
Okay, when I meant women are weak, I didn't mean like mentally weak. I meant in some sense physical, because I do think that a man's entire body is more stronger necessarily, but I do think that like
It's air conditioned, yeah.
It's got the best room.
Yes, it is.
Did you want to pitch
Who's on the lake shore? You?
there are, all three of them are.
We're getting DJ to record stuff.
Okay.
Record stuff for what?
It's just a podcast.
We're making a podcast called Deisms, where we just ask.
School or on your own?
It's on our own.
What are you talking about? Like Teslas and stuff?
No, see, so we talk about the way Deej views the world, and then we like introduce a subject to the Deej, and then have him talk
He's
about
the
it.
Deej?
He's the Deej.
I am.
It's beautiful,
Could take off. You never know.
bro. Have you
So-
seen him? He's a
Crazy girl,
he's a gold mine.
So,
I'm gonna make a lot of money from him.
yeah, when he means a lot of money, it means I still want 10%. Just
You'll
saying.
never get any.
You'll never get any. This
Okay,
is
well,
my
I guess
property.
this is done.
You're my cow.
Yeah, but I'm also voicing for you, like I'm talking.
I can find some other bipolar young gentlemen.
Listen, I'm not bipolar, okay? I'm not bipolar. So, yeah.
He has not been diagnosed.
Your own body.
Yeah. He has not been diagnosed as of right now.
Okay, actually I have, he just doesn't know that, and yes, I do. And yes, I do not have bipolar.
So you have,
So-
but I just don't.
No,
know,
I
but-
don't. No, I've been diagnosed, but I don't have it. To put this record straight.
So
But
what-
back
what-
to
so what have
back.
you been diagnosed
Hold
with?
on, hold
What
on,
have you been
hold on,
diagnosed
hold on, hold on. Back to the subject about feminism.
Oh, I.
The statement that I made earlier, a lot of times it came off as sexist. Me being sexist, sexist,
Yo, dude,
sexist,
with how high your
sexist.
voice is, you need to hold the mic about 4 inches from your mouth.
So I do think that there is some parts to a woman that are just weaker than men, but there is some parts
Huh?
that are. Yeah, my bus broke down,
The bus
so now
broke
we're
down.
waiting like a half an hour.
This is just a normal day for us. I don't know.
I do think that a woman, there is parts where a man is stronger, but there's also parts where a woman's stronger. But I do think that in a woman's circumstance, there is inequality issues between a man and a woman. But I don't like the fact how women will date one guy, have a bad relationship, and then never date a man again because they think, hold on, all men are the same. Like that, they have the same personality as that one guy that the person hated, the girl hated.
I think that's a really bad take for a couple reasons. I think that that's a very interesting stereotype of women, and I'm not like feminist, I guess you would say, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing. I have seen that happen, but and a lot of the times I do think that things like physical weakness, like yeah, of course there's a physical difference, like that's how that works. But I don't think that should be held against them in any way, and I don't think that should matter, like how it clearly matters to you.
So, hey,
I said dude in the other room.
so I don't think it matters necessarily, but like, let me give an example. That Olympian athlete, that's a woman, but she's transgender.
Oh, fuck.
People are mad about that because
We're getting into an interesting topic now.
because hold on, because
Brought it out to be
hold on.
plus. Let's do this.
Yay, we get
So-
Perfect time.
this
I get to clip this
the
into a
woman.
section called DJ about gays.
No, she is transgender, which, you know what? If you want to be transgender, that's on you. It's your life. You live your life how you want to. But I don't think you should be competing in women's sports if you're a guy because necessarily.
Biologically.
But yes, but necessarily, I think it's wrong necessarily because it's unfair to the other Olympians because you're going to be stronger than they are. Your body mass is going to be stronger. Your typically your strength, your bone strength, and all of the above. So I don't think that's not right necessarily because it's unfair.
So, what is your solution to this? Would you say like a special league or like, because you can't just say these people can't compete because I think that's unfair to them.
So real quick, and then I'll answer that question. people have gotten mad at this this Olympian because she's saying they're homophobic and all this stuff, and it's like you're not being homophobic because you're being unfair. Hold on, and then I'm gonna answer your question. Then you can. Typically, if a male is transgender and is competing in a woman's sport, or a woman is transgender competing in a male sport, there should be a special league for it necessarily, because I don't think people who are Olympians, right, like take their entire life just to become that. So it's like it is unfair to her, but it's also unfair to the other people. So I think in solution, creating a special league will definitely resolve the situation.
I would say that it is a fair assumption to call people homophobic under those pretexts, because a lot of the time things like that can be held like against people, where they can say, "Oh, I just don't think it's unfair," when they really just don't like trans people. I do think a league is a appropriate answer, but then you have to look at it like this: well, these women have to make money. So if you say, "Oh, you're in your own league, you're doing your own show," like what kind of press is that gonna get? That's not gonna make any money.
So if I were to say this, I'd become very, let's say, sexist.
Okay.
I do think that a woman in this special league that I'm saying, they should get press and they should get popularity, and they should, I think, make the same much as an actual Olympian. I shouldn't say actual; they're Olympians already, but regular league Olympians. But I do think that if they were to be paid less than a, let's say, regular league Olympian, then the people who are paying them are going to be called trans, homophobic, and all this stuff. So
Hang on. So these Olympians, they don't get paid much for the Olympics, right? Like that's a
Yes.
very small percentage. So what they do is they go into other leagues and they do competitions, whether that be things like boxing, football, all that kind of thing, right? But so if we're talking outside of the Olympics, because the Olympics is a very small percentage, it pays very badly. It's all publicity mostly. So if we're saying in these independent leagues where it's not really about everyone makes the same amount of money, you make as much money as you can bring in audience. Because if you're not putting asses in seats, why should you deserve money in the entertainment field? And whether you're for it or against it, I don't think a lot of people are going to care about a special transgender league. So my personal thoughts are that you should have them be in regular leagues, and if the women do not want to compete against them, and it's over, like, whether that be like person versus person, and the other person says, no, I don't want to fight them, then I think that should be allowed, and they don't have to sign the contract. Or like if it's like a group sport, and half the other team says they don't want that person, and I think that would be fair.
okay.
Because like I think it's unfair to them, but it's also unfair to say this person can't compete, and then we can work for the social climate to where people won't say no. It's like slowly over time.
So I see this league coming because LGBTQ and all is becoming very popular, which that's okay. If they want to make that life decision, that's on them. It's their life. Let them live how they want. But I do think that, let's say for an example, you're an Olympian and you're in a boxing match. You're going against a male who's a transgender, okay? Typically, they're going to be stronger than the woman. I'm sorry to say it. That's how I believe.
Yes, you've already. But in things like that, that happened in MMA a couple times, and yes, they won a lot, but then they lost too. Like against very exceptionally talented people, they did lose a couple times. Like I could name specific sources, but names are names to you, right? Like you wouldn't know the difference. Okay, you want me to list out like who won against who, and
we'll just leave it at that.
okay.
Leave it at that.
So, anything else on your mind?
I just want to. I think that a couple things real quick. If you are an Olympian and you are going against a transgender, okay? If they want to become transgender, that's fine. But they should not be they should not be in a woman's league if they are a man. It's just not a thing.
Look at me.
I think that if they're a male and they're transgender, they should still create their own league. I think that that would resolve a lot of issues, and they should get the same like press and pay. Yes.
Where are all these issues though?
What do you
I
mean?
don't see any issues popping up about a lot of trans people.
There
It
are,
was-
but they're all on Twitter.
Yeah, but that's Twitter. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Well, I'm just saying this because the Deej brought it up, and I think it's a really interesting issue that I find hilarious that people get mad over. But no, my actual opinion on that is I think it's unfair to the transgender woman to say they cannot compete, and especially just saying they should have equal pay doesn't make it so.
Hey, by the way, how do you want your
Because if
YouTube
you're
channel
trans,
spelled?
It's transphobic, actually. Get good
which would
thought.
also be sexist because if you're trans.
No, it's transphobic. It's its own thing because they're hip and new.
Question?
Okay.
How do you guys spell your channel?
We haven't created one yet, so
I'm doing it right now. What do you want the name to be called?
Deejisms. I don't care how you
I
spell
don't
it.
know why he's doing this, but whatever. I think that one more thing I want to clarify something. The comment that I made earlier. Yes, I will admit I did say something about how
Dude, don't apologize if it's your actual
I'm
opinion.
not.
We're not going to judge you.
I think that I did say something about how women are weaker than men. Okay. Did I say that to get a clarifier?
You did several times, but I don't think that's like necessarily sexist. I do think it can be if it's a derogatory sense, but I don't think it necessarily was. I don't think your feeling towards women is great overall. Like I do think you have issues with them. Like I don't know if that's from like bad experiences, like you've been rejected a lot or stuff like that, but I do think you do have a very negative connotation towards women and like people of queer nature.
Okay. One, it's not because I was rejected a lot, actually. Fun fact. In the stays in this room, I've never been asked out. I've never asked someone out. I've never asked someone out.
Damn, baby. I'm
sorry, but-
15 years of that cold blue nut.
Okay. Well, we'll leave it at there then. Okay, Colin. No, it's not. But
Bro, I think that.
I think. Hold on.
15 years without getting your nut the natural way.
Anyways, when I meant women are weaker than men, I didn't mean necessarily mentally. I think that mentally wise, I'm sorry to say, I think women are actually stronger than men because their common sense is way more than a man. A woman, I think, hold on. I think a woman matures at a much younger age than a man does. I mean,
Actually, biologically, they do. A woman's brain gets maturing at 21, and males is 23 to 24.
Yes.
yeah, exactly. So I think, in my personal opinion, even though it's studies, I mean, yeah, but I think that mentally wise, yes, they are more stronger, but like physically wise, like
But you
your
seem-
bone mass, your strength.
I mean, you seem to put
You're-
a lot of emphasis on that, though. Like, that matters a lot to you. You're clearly not, like, a physical specimen, so I don't know if that, like, is a comfort to you. Like, I'm stronger than most women. Or something.
No, I don't think it's a comfort to me at all because I mean, yes, women can beat men and stuff, but like if I wanted to, I could become stronger. Like I could start working out
So,
and I could start
is
lifting
that
weight.
what you tell yourself? Because you're, like, what, 100 pounds soaking wet, dude?
No, 135.
You're not 135 pounds.
I am 135, and I could send you a
Dude,
photo.
you are not 135 pounds.
Okay, well, either way. Anyways, so yes, I do want to clarify, and I'm not. When I mean men, I don't mean me specifically. I mean men in general. What?
Nothing. You can go on.
So yeah, I just want to clarify that, and also, yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, and
Don't tell them.
we'll see
They
you.
can subscribe if they like the content.
Yes.
Don't tell them like and
Yes.
subscribe.
Yes. If you guys like it, though. If you guys like it. I'll see you guys in the next one.